Well, one sector that appears to be seeing quite a little bit of growth at the moment is tourism. Stats SA today releasing figures reflecting that more than 2.2 million people travelled in and out of the country in October last month. That's an increase of more than 100%, more than double compared to the same period last year. The travellers came of 600,000 South African residents and over 1 million foreign travellers. Around 65% of overseas travellers came from Europe, followed by North America and Asia. Virtually all the tourists from Africa came from the SADC countries. Tshifhiwa is the CEO of the Tourism Business Council of South Africa. Tshifhiwa, good evening to you, and thank you very much indeed for your time. The number of foreign travellers to South Africa, if I've understood my numbers correctly, is up by nearly 150%. That's massive. What changed from October to October?
Well, absolutely, Stephen, and good afternoon to your viewers. Indeed, it has changed remarkably compared to the previous year, and we need to put the previous year in context. In the previous year, we were still under COVID restrictions. Many countries around the world still had doubts about South Africa, although there was a pent-up demand. We did see, the red listing of South Africa, the variants that were here in South Africa, and also the reluctance by many of our source markets to come to South Africa. So therefore, when we look at this year's numbers, and we look at the increases that we've seen, is the pent-up demand that we've been talking about during COVID to say people are hungry to travel to South Africa, and hence we were fighting to be taken out of the red listing, and we are seeing the results now with a whole lot more people, considering South Africa. And in the context of last year, yes, it's over 100%, but we need to look at it in the context of 2019, because that was a normal year. So we are still a bit struggling, but we're getting there in the context of 2019 numbers.
Do you believe that most of those people are coming here for holiday? I mean, there'll be a lot of business people, families who are separated, for example. There's pent-up demand for travel. Is that all pent-up demand for tourism?
Well, there are people who are traveling to see family and friends. We're going to see a lot more people coming from Europe, especially from the UK, from Ireland and many other parts of Europe, coming down to South Africa because we always had strong ties between families. And also from Australia and New Zealand side, we're going to see a lot more people coming for Christmas this side. So it simply means that, there's a whole lot more visiting friends and relatives, travel that's going to happen. There is also leisure travel that's happening. We've seen that the introduction of Eurowings into Kruger-Mpumalanga International Airport. We've seen Emirates increasing capacity into South Africa. We've seen Air Belgium introducing a new route, and also other traditional airlines that fly into South Africa, including our own Southern African airlines, the likes of Airlink, Surf Air, and many others, really trying to connect Southern Africa because there is demand. People want to travel for leisure purposes. Of course, businesses are open. And of course, the most important part is that now we are doing meetings and sporting events. People are allowed to go to the stadiums. It means that people are moving around different countries, and that's why we're seeing this type of results. And we're seeing this also along the value chain. If you look at the car rentals, they're doing better than what they were doing. If you look at the hotels, when they gave their interim results, it's showing that they're doing better than previous years. So things are looking better than before, but there's still a way to go in the tourism recovery in this country.
What's the outlook for the Christmas holiday season? It's going to be cold in Europe, lovely weather in Cape Town.
No, absolutely. It's going to be quite nice and warm here in South Africa. And I've always been saying that South Africans, need to be booking in large numbers because domestic tourism is the bedrock of our industry. And we've been saying that book on time, make sure that you enjoy, the summer here in South Africa, in your own country. And of course, there's going to be many people that are going to be coming down because it's cold in the Northern Hemisphere. So please, everyone must go ahead and book. The Americans are coming in numbers. We've seen introduction of flights into Cape Town, increased capacity into Johannesburg. So there will be a lot more people here in South Africa, and we are ready and prepared. We've been preparing for quite a number of years.
Tshifhiwa, thank you, CEO of the Tourism Business Council of South Africa.